Audio presents The Dolls, written by James Patterson with Keisha Ball, read by Kate Russell. Chapter 1. It should have been invigorating, jogging for the first time along Boston Harbor at dawn, breathing the cool, briny mist. But my morning run didn't work its usual magic. A hot shower didn't help clear my mind, nor did the mug of green tea during my commute. I was trying to picture myself stepping confidently into a new job, a new city, and a new life. But all I felt was my stomach doing flips over and over. At least my suit looks smart. I looked down at the crisp navy blazer, part of a steal I'd picked up in one of Chicago's consignment boutiques. I knew the color would work with my haircut, a shoulder-skimming auburn bob, in waves today, all part of an outfit planned, down to the pearl studs, months ago when I got the news. But the shoes, the perfect nude pumps, were either left behind in Chicago, like the 24/7 crime beat, or squeezed into the bottom of one of the dozens of boxes I ripped open that morning, frantic and frustrated. Why didn't I keep the ensemble together in the move? Come on, Lana. Breathing in deeply, I picked up my pace in the final stretch of my trek from the T-station stop to the office of the Times-Journal. This was it. If I spend any longer waiting for courage to catch up, I'll be late. My first new job in a decade loomed just ahead. 4 stories of brick and glass outlined in the morning sun, taller buildings arching up behind it. I forced the anxiety fluttering up through my chest back down to the pit of my stomach. Another deep breath. I pushed open a glass door, taking a swift stride to a receptionist's desk. The tired-looking woman behind it hardly looked up, but nodded knowingly when I introduced myself as the newsroom's new hire. "I'll call Mr. Shawley to take you up," the woman said flatly, grabbing her phone. Around the entryway walls hung poster-sized front-page layouts in plastic frames. That's where my byline belongs. The woman jammed the phone back into place, shook her head and stood, glancing at me. "Guess it's me who's taking you up. There's something going on." "What is it?" "Some kind of breaking news." Maybe if the receptionist had been warmer, or if it had been any other day in my career, I would have tried for more information. I just followed, focused on not screwing this up. The receptionist finished her chore as quickly as she could, letting a door slam behind her and leaving me just a newsroom, which was sparse, even for 8:40 a.m. on a Monday. Where is everybody? There, a cluster of people behind a wall of windows on the opposite side of the newsroom. But there was a single reporter clicking at a laptop in a ghost town of waist-high cubicles. I recognized him from my interview as editor Tim Shawley. He looked in my direction and motioned me over. "Welcome," he said warmly. He gave a kind smile and stretched his sport coat over a barrel's stomach. "So glad to be here." I smiled right back and gave a solid handshake. "You're a little early, but that's good. We could use a crime solver this morning, it turns out." "Oh, good. Well, I'm ready." That's a fib. He led me over to the glassed-in conference room and opened the door to a room full of half-finished mugs of coffee and the chatter I was used to in a busy newsroom. "Guys, this is Lana Wallace. She comes from Chicago, where she's covered crime for the past 10 years. She picked up a bunch of awards in that time, but I was able to convince her to make the switch to business and the daylight shift." The guys were about 7 men in loosened ties. Had they been here all night or just gotten down to business and not tightened them yet? And 2 women circling a whiteboard. Tim introduced everyone and got back to business. "We don't typically pull folks together for an editorial meeting this early, but in this case, we're trying to figure out how to deal with a high-profile murder. A second one, actually. 5 minutes in, and it's a crime story. Bring it on." Elaine Hartman, the silver-haired city editor with a face full of stern lines, acknowledged me with a brisk nod and spun back around to the whiteboard. "Catherine's just posted a breaking news update online with what we know from police and now the DA, which is little. Eric Blake, 47, owner of several Boston-based companies, found dead in his condo."